This is Phenom Gaming here, and we are going live now with some of the Stanley Parable. So, have something a bit different tonight rather than what I normally go for. And have I played this before? No, I have not. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. So is that nope. I'll put it there. Please enter the current time. So it is. I'm going to wait. This says 8:03 on my phone. There we go. Accessibility settings can be done from the menu. Okay, brilliant. There was just a second. There's a moment. And right, so let's actually get started with this then. Let's just begin the game. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Sounds kind of boring.
Others might have considered it soul-eating. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Really? Because I'd be bloody miserable.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
But, I'm alright in here. I hate Mondays. But I don't want to step out the office. I want to know why I'm not getting messages. Let's see. So not gonna have a go at me for anything? I like how the only thing I can't click is the computer. Fine, I'll step out the office.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Hey!
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, where's the meeting room?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
couldn't
find a trace of his co-workers.
That's a that. Oh, I'm going around trying to press on other people's. How come all these had a thing out here? Right, and I had to be... Who's Stanley, like? He's dead, mate.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
But what if it does? I need to know these things.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
What
Click
trophy?
the door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
I don't have that.
That's the kind of effort
I don't have a camera battery, I'm afraid. But it wants me to click the star for a trophy.
I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Alright, seriously, how many times?
Yes,
Right,
certainly 50 clicks.
I'm sure I've clicked this more than 50 times. I'm not going to get a trophy for this, am I? Just clicking the door.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
I'm trying to open the door.
All the way, no matter the cost.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Right, where's 417? 20 clicks into 417. Where's 417? 419. There we go.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Okay. 437. Where are you? Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Right, so 10 clicks on 415. Can't believe I'm actually going around doing this. 415. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Now,
10.
back to door number 437.
Okay, let's go.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Alright, where's the copy machine?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Alright. 417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Where's 419's desk? 418, 419. How do I do that? How do I climb? How do I climb? Crouch, interact. How do I climb? I can't physically climb onto his desk. Oh, well, this is a bit of a wasted endeavour. Fine, I'll just go away. Since it won't let me climb on 419's desk.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, guys, should I enter the door on my left or the door on the right? Should I listen to the narrator or should I disobey him? Let's go for it then.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay. I want to enter 450. Right.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to
right
spend
now.
a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
That did move, didn't it? Yeah. I want a drink.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really
Excuse me.
worth it.
I'm actually trying to get a drink from the vending machine, I'll have you know. Hello there.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible
poor Stanley.
that this is why everyone left.
I want a drink. Give me a drink.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Ooh, what's that? Right, fine, I'll leave.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
The first open door on his left to get back to business. Well, I thought I'd go straight forward.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Well, that's a bit rude. Let's see. Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Now where am I
I'm
going?
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's that?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's she? Right,
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
Yes.
Well, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
What if I don't want to?
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
I'm not practicing that.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
Yeah, that doesn't
Most
look
medical
right.
professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8?
Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. But what if I want to stay in here? Can I just plug the phone back in? But I want to climb one of these trucks. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Get your first trophy. Award for getting any other trophies as your first. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, it was a pretty funny trophy name. Can I come back in now? Alright, let's loop back over here.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying.
But that's what I wanted to do.
Halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately,
can't have the main character dying.
Is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Oh no. So going to redirect me back to that room I went to earlier on. It is, isn't it? Alright. I know what this wants from me.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Is that right now?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. Okay. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Alright, fine. I'll go through the door on the left. What's in here? Or maybe we are too late.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that you... My story. You've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
No, you're not. What did I do?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
Oh,
It
no.
was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
You should have let me have the ability to jump then.
Funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
No.
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Excuse you, I am not.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine, I'll take the door on the left. I bet you his story's still buggered though. Tips for not...
not a single person here either.
Tips to not getting fired. Talk less.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let a ball up beside you. Take that passively aggressive in other co-workers when co-workers are not supporting you more. That sounds rational. Be sure that this slide is a... Yep. Yep. There's nothing better than a slick blue graphic in the header. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Oh, I thank you. Any more? Number of slides. Slides. Charts and slides. Charts. So another one. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. No more charts, please. I'm begging to stop. Boss appreciation minute. Well, he says boss only wants a minute's worth of appreciation. Ooh. Well, I want to go in the broom closet. Okay, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This is probably because I didn't start doing the story properly the first time round. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what we've got here. The beige pages. Doesn't even have a picture of his own face.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Shark 115? I don't know, I thought I'd see if it would work.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver. right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. Well, that's clearly
I'm
not
sorry,
working,
is
is
there
it?
a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Trying. Night Shark 115?
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's see where he goes.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please.
Stanley, I see you.
Make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
No, looks like I've got one ending.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
Look what you've done. Look what you've done, narrator. You broke, Stanley.
I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
No, you can't.
You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Right, so this should take me back to the main menu. And then I can start again. Nope, it's going to just take me here. So, tell you what if I actually...
All of his co-workers...
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Right, let's try this trophy again.
Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks.
See if I can do this.
I suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it.
Yep.
Yes, almost certainly.
I'm pretty certain I've done more than 50 clicks by now.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something.
Right.
It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Right, let's try this again. So 417's over here.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437 was back here.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, where are you?
Now, back to door number 437.
437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Back to 417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Trying to find a way to finish climbing up.
Yes!
Oh, there we go.
Great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Right, where's 416?
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Alright, he's getting a bit excited about this.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
Right, so that was a click of
You really earned it,
35
Stanley.
times.
Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Right. Now we saunter out here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright, actually it'll open it this time. Alright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay.
Stanley
Yay, broom
stepped into
closet.
the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nah, I fancy staying in here. I like it in here.
There was
Hello
nothing
there.
here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
But I want the wrench.
No reason to still be here.
But I want to. I'm solitary in the broom closet. I'm safe.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
I'm just gonna sit here in the broom closet.
To interact with, he'd be justified
Hello,
in some
everyone.
way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
But I want to do sweet FA in here.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
What
Please
do?
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I'm trying to pick up some things to take with me. I want this
You do
broom.
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out.
Oh, that's
It didn't
true.
occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
So
I
it shouldn't
never would have
matter.
thought to mention it.
So why make a big deal about it then, mate?
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say,
Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Does anyone find this concerning?
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also,
Oh,
Stanley is addicted
wonderful.
to drugs and hookers.
Stanley might like being
Well, I've
addicted to
come
drugs
a
and
very
hookers.
definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Oh no.
Broom closet, explored it a bit, and we're just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen.
Nope, I'm very much still
Situation
alive.
like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
No,
They
I'm
have
not.
fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
Okay.
All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Nope, I'm still gonna stay there. I want to see if he says something else. He's not going to say anything else, is he? Fine. All right.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board.
Second player?
You can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps
Hey!
there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
All right, fine, I'll leave. Right, oh then.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, what's downstairs? Oh, can't zoom in to read that. Tell you what, I'll actually will obey it. I'll go upstairs. I'll explore down there in a bit. Executive bathroom. Okay. What's in here? I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Okay. Right. Anything in here? That's a panda with a gun to its head. That does not sound like a sound business strategy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
play the piano.
who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Oh,
What he could
can't
not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passage.
I mean, cheers, Mr. Narrator. You did just give me the password. Right. Oh, this passageway. Okay. Oh wow, that's bright. Okay. Going down. And now where am I?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Well, let's find out. Cheers, just, you know, break things behind me, that's fine. Totally didn't want to go back up there anyway.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But that door offers me an escape. Oh well, I'll obey it. Hello. So we are at the mind control facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
Wow.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
What are they watching me do?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That's because when you work at a place like this, freedom is just an illusion. It's just a construct. There is no such thing as freedom. You are forever tied to the machine. Forever bound to servitude of an absolutely masochistic capitalist society. You never win.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah, that's what you do with most jobs. Accept them blindly.
No, he refused to believe
Get on with it blissfully.
He couldn't accept it. His
Employee
own life
pirate.
in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Right. Let's find out how we do this then. Is it to do with this? 5. I'll try to press it right. 1, 2. Best 3 and 4. Oh, here they are. So press 1 and 2 and 3. Where's 4? Or am I just really stupid? One, 2, 3. I've done those. There's 4 in here somewhere. Oh, it's 4 in here. Hello? Where is button 4? Oh, right. Do I have to press right? Oh, there's 4. So... 3's over here. Do I have to press that first? Start with that, so... How on earth do I get to button 4? This I'm actually baffled over. How do I do this? I'm just pressing any button and hoping for success here, aren't I? I need access to button 4. What if I want to enter the facility power room? Maybe I can't get up to button 4. System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. I did it. I pushed the button.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Yay!
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Oh, don't worry.
His co-workers gone.
How are we getting to them
How had
puzzles?
he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness.
And
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's good to know. Go on, Stanley, you be happy, mate. Beat the game. Complete the Stanley Parable. Okay, well, I've completed it, but... Right, we're going to dash...
All his co-workers were gone.
I'm just going to dash through, but I'm going to take the downstairs path this
to go
time.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's go. We're going to take the door to the left.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Right, I'm just going to literally dash through here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Not walking upstairs, I'm going to go down here.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe He thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Okay, I'm tripping.
What a relief
I'm tripping.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Hey!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back. The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
If you say so. But that's not the case.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay. That another ending I've unlocked, or...?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Wonderful.
She would soon turn to call for an ambulance. For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Well then. So it looks like that's another ending done. Right, I've got a better idea.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Let's
decided to go to the meeting
upstairs,
room. Perhaps he had simply
but
missed
we'll
a
go
memo.
towards escape this time. And we'll see what happens with that, because there was an escape button.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right, so. Actually, what's in here? You don't go take this lift. Take the lift up and see what happens. Do 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 This is some funky elevator music. Da, 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 da. Haven't heard jig in a lift. Can hear some voices. Stanley's got schizo. Oh, there we go. Did I really not go anywhere the whole time? What if I press down? So I just went nowhere the whole time. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Oh.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. So
Yes,
he
it is.
relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay. Don't know what's quite calming about this, but we're listening to some New Age music anyway.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. Now. Guess down here is the way to go. Oh, get in. Just keep a track of the football. Newcastle's 1-up at half time. Love to see it. So. I'm not going to go
Stanley
straight
walked
forward.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, he didn't. He ran
Although
towards
this
it that said
passageway
escape.
had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, wonderful. Bring it on.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yeah. Ah, see, I didn't fall to me death. Ah!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
How can I that one yet? Oh, that was convenient. I didn't die. Right. Anything over here? Okay. We just have the words the Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh, this is pretty cool.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
Office.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Button sounds. The two doors. Cool. Look around this. Nature paintings. Stanley's computer. Office layout. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Obviously someone's got to have played solitaire. It's just the way it goes. What's in here? Boss's office. Office clock. I was walking around the concept things. Countdown desk. Early version. Freedom ending. Monitor room elevator. What's up here? Game design mock-up. This is pretty cool. Stanley's office. The evolution of Stanley's office. So that was the first. That was the second. And that's the latest one. Okay. It's over here. The office. The apartment timer. Let's see. Okay. Meeting room. What else can I see here? Zending model. Zending. Okay. Zending levers. So here. Trailers. Oh, cool. It's the actual trailers for the game. That's pretty neat. Escape menu. Game is now paused. Countdown desk, yep. So this is where I've just been. Was there anything else? Boss's office. The lounge. Underground.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Okay. That's fair enough. Let's do it this way. Maintenance room. The copy machine. Warzone. Early in the development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build that it was far too jokey and on the nose for this tone of game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. Ultra Deluxe announcements. Okay, so it looks like there's more stuff. Right, what's up here? The lounge. That's the phone. Already passed that. Narrator emails. What is the difference between a duck and what? I need to know. Between a duck and what? From a cool man. James Irvine, you might not be cool. Are you a rock? No. I am not a rock. What is the significance of that? It is a high number. That's what the significance of that is. Well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered other rooms? We'll never know, because it won't open the doors. We'll never find out. If you were born with a magnificent voice, and you bargain with a magician to receive it. I bargained with a magician to receive this. Stanley, that's just his full name, Stanley. That's his name. Right. Oh, we can just call him Parable. Parable's his last name now. Alright.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Stanley Parable. Off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Yes.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
How do you know?
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game.
No.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
I am not turning off my PlayStation.
Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
And I died. Bye, Stanley. I think I might go right this time round. Fancy that. Telling me to turn off my PlayStation while I'm streaming. That defeats the objective of this.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right, we'll go right this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe I did.
Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What happens if I actually do take the first door on my left?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nope. I'm gonna do this instead.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
I feel like the director's
Oh,
making that up.
no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Excuse you.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Don't be a dick.
Clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll hold on as long as you need to.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Right. Okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Oh, no, not again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Okay.
Oh, did something change?
Yes.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I'll take this door. Seems to be, yeah. No. Right.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No, we don't.
I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Don't. Right, okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, well done, narrator.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Might as well. let's see.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Are you sure?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Sounds good to me. Let's get some retrace. The Ritter.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
If you don't remember, I don't know how
Since
I'm
I've
going to
completely
remember.
forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
I was curious. Right.
All right, I've got
The
a solution.
Stanley Parable
This time,
adventure
to make
line.
sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. Seems reasonable. Let's follow that. Hang on a minute. Didn't go through there. Oh, well. I'm going to follow it. Not that I think it ever went through here, but...
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to
You're being
follow
very
this train of
philosophical
thought
about
for a minute.
this.
Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
Yes.
Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Yes, I agree.
I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I request some vulgar dissection. Okay, never mind. Da da da. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I can take this music. Alright. That's a nice marching forward music.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Okay.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
In all fairness, I will observe this. I'll be fair about these situations. I'll be fair but fair. Okay, in all fairness, I'm going to move on now. That's enough fern puns.
Wait, we're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
That's where that line started, so it wants me to go this way now. Okay. Line.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Alright. Oh, but you've employed the line again. How do you know the line's going to be any good?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot about what you want the story to be.
Oh,
no idea.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm trying not to, but it is kind of all over the place.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh, totally the right hand door opens. Okay. The confusion ending. Been playing the confusion ending for 17 minutes and so many seconds. After a long time, Stanley dies? Turn around. Adventure line, reset monitor room, run the line again, fusion ending schedule, narrator restarts the game, narrator forgets about previous restarts, Stanley attempts to play the story but is prevented, unable to go anywhere or do anything. Game restarts its own 6th restart, find the line again, begin following the line, and take a replica of the officer began to deteriorate. Attempt to make a story, but yeah. Narrator starts again, was no longer an office, simply blank space. Under the blackness, look for it in a bookstore, get bored and leave. Narrator's 3 steps, the narrator's gone. After a long time, Stanley dies as well.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
No.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why do I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Okay. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
No, no one's going to come for us.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure
yes,
if we're in the
you're just tuned in.
or the journey. Though they're
Hello
always
there.
saying that life is
Just
about
tuned
the
in.
journey and not the destination.
While
so
I'm looking
I
at the
hope that's where
confusion
we
ending.
are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Jesus Christ, that was a bit loud. Okay. I'm just going to go on, right?
Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Okay. This is definitely not what I thought was going to happen. New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Let's go. Whee!
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Wow. A while ago,
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Wonderful.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Yay!
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay. That sounds like it could be pretty fun.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Let's find out.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Yes, let's. Do.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as
All right,
if
Mr. Narrator.
Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
And
All right.
new content,
All right,
jump
let's
circle.
See the jump circle?
Wow, really? I'm just going to use all the jumps. Hey! The most exhilarating, mate. Let's see what new content there is.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley,
Well,
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is
in
new
most
content,
games these
then I could
days,
just
yes.
read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box.
Please
the
don't.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay, let's have a gander then. Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
I don't know, it's X now.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much
that's made me
anticipation
giggle.
around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
It does speak about most video game companies these days.
Reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, oh no. This looks a bit different. There might be some more of that new content you're on about.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
This sounds a bit sketchy, but alright then. Colonel. Calling at the vent. Coffee nut. Whee!
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Okay.
Just our little secret. Take a look.
I will do. But that was, like, that did legit. I've had a nice little chuckle at the jab at game developers and the fact that they are prone to doing that. Ooh. Okay.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay. The memory zone. Right into the memory zone. If nothing big from Elden Ring tries to chase me while I have no weapons, then I'll be more than happy with that.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The Last of Us in the category of stories. Just put Stanley Parable over it. Let's begin again. More Stanley Parable stuff. Zone, sweet zone. Buy unpressurized gas. A trip down memory lane. Smile because it happened. $1. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. I'm pretty sure on this edition, it is impossible to get this achievement. I'm pretty sure on this edition, there's a trophy for not playing for 10 years. Game Innovation, nominee, debut game, story. Oh, that was it. Deals tough choices. New video game releasing today. Creator surprisingly down to earth. Okay, I can't just wander off into wherever.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
What's down here? Well, I can't go to memory zone maintenance. But this was allegedly Persona 3 and Skyrim. Now, I personally don't believe it, but...
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The
going
game
the wrong
was
way has never
perfect.
felt so right.
It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Well... with the greatest wealth is memory.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Right. No, well, time to go to maintenance then,
Wait,
since that's where it wants us to go.
I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Well, we'll have to have a gander. Ooh. Okay. I want a cold drink, yo. Oh, hello, everyone.
Oh, no, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Let's find out, shall we?
These reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Let's find out, shall we?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Oh, that's a very good point, Mr. Narrator. That is a very good point. Just have to see what else is kicking about. Oh, it was another one here. Would you like to read it?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness.
Maybe a little.
This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
I know, right?
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Oh,
Perhaps
no.
the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Don't put yourself down, mate. Hey, let's read this one.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
But I don't want a skip button. Okay. Is there anything else kicking about around here? Uh-oh. Why do I feel like this is not going to end well?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. Only billions left, until so much more than forever ago. Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably...
Right, it's going to repeat, okay.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a profound rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time
I am not erecting anywhere, thank you very much.
You've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time. Like I'm not making a choice to skip now. By virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise. manifesto, treatise,
Let's see which one he came out with.
Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over.
Exactly.
I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works.
Yes.
Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes.
Oh, you're being very optimistic.
Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial.
Are you sure
something
about that?
along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
See if I press the skip again.
Welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
Oh, Christ.
Unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yes, there was.
I feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall?
Here.
I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here.
I'm going to have to,
wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll just do a lap round here. I'm going to have to...
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Jesus, man.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
Yes, it
I've
is.
looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe. I have to know that sooner or later,
you can't touch it.
How much I plead with you,
MC,
you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
I don't know.
Thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God!
And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback.
Tell you what, narrator guy, order me a Parmo, and I'll not press the skip button.
Opinion matters so much to me. I've never even met Cookie 9. I have no idea who they are.
There you go. You can send me a Parmo and 9 cookies, and I won't press the skip button.
On every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me, the merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself.
Yeah, I think this guy's rambling. Should I press it again?
To alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't.
Hey, I've been talking.
It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley,
he's going mad, isn't he?
If you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real.
Ooh.
Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along?
Or maybe you're just rambling on too much and I need to skip you.
I've been scared this whole time that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us.
I think this guy's rambling on too much. Maybe I need to skip him again.
Unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being.
You sure now, Mr. Narrator?
I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized.
You are being skipped.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what
Mr. Narrator, if you didn't just ramble on
as the collapse of every
like this, I wouldn't have to press it.
Experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously.
Was it now?
I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity.
Well, wallow in it even more. What have I done? Did I leave the narrator for too long again? I think he's not speaking to me anymore. I have. Oops. Well, I'm not putting up with that noise this whole time.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a
I don't think I killed him,
cohesion
mate.
in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get.
We get skipped. That's what we get. Anything happening? Anything at all? Nope. Alright.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
Oh, look, the clock fell off the wall.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I don't think. I think the end might never be the end.
Never the end.
Oh well. A lot of water dripping over here now. Guess there isn't much else to do but skip again. Oh. Oh, this caved in. Can't climb up on this. No, okay. Let's skip again. And now I see nothing but light. I need to be out. Help me get out. Oh no. I killed the narrator's spirits completely. Oh, that foliage is growing on the inside of here now. Okay. Oh, never mind, it died. Help! I've been stuck down here for like 300 years. Help! Help! Okay, that's pretty creepy. Oh no, no, the skip button's broken. Oh. I don't need any more. I can be free. Oh, wow. And I wander. As I wander through the desert. After waiting for 400 years to be free. I've waited for this moment for what feels like a lifetime. But now the freedom inside is mine. And let's go there, my friends. And now I'm back into darkness. And let's put it back to the beginning.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Okay. So... New content. Well, we didn't have this neon light last time.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. So, what's the neon light going to show me then? Yep.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay.
Yes,
the end is never the end
Isn't
again.
this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Is it now? Inventor Showcase, the Stanley Parable 2. Taste the sequel. Okay.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented.
You didn't say artistic
it
statement, fair enough.
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Okay, but I can't view what's in here. Okay, I guess I'll go down this path then. Okay. Two. They're back 2 doors. More TSP, better TSP, paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach, envelope, client-centric marketing, the color red, leverage, holistic value, sequential mindshare, win-win. Okay. Stanley Parable 2, left brain, right brain. Oh, that fern from earlier on. I got told that was meant to be important. In all fairness. Stanley Parable 2 logo ideas. Fair enough. The 2 Stanleys.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Who took the red mark in me? 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 penises. Scrum, design pitch, break, pitch design, number 2 chat. Okay. That poor man doesn't even have a body. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity Original Sin, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2. To be fair, Arkham City is a cracking sequel. What? Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable 2 is the sequel. Is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2. Is the sequel to the Stanley Parable 2. Is the prequel to the Stanley Parable 2. That's gonna confuse people after a while. This way to the show floor. New features. A bus. Seats. A red carpet for me to walk on. A mug. A rather dirty mug that says who farted. Wasn't me. Oh, this is a pretty nice show floor. They've got the reassurance bucket.
Here we are.
I want one of those.
Try out some of the new features.
Office decorations, Stanley Parable reassurance bucket, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
That is fantastic. Let's see if it works. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Try it here.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to
but I don't want to be Jim.
The full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
But I don't want to be a person named Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again. And this time, let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I don't want to be Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Okay.
Jim. See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away. Jim.
Oh no, he took the Jim button away. Alright. No more pressing the Jim button for me.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
But then it'd be the Jim Parable, not the Stanley Parable. I was hoping he'd put the button back. Never mind. Okay. What other new features are there? Please, no screenshots. Red is the new orange. New updated ray traced, more of the same but in a good way, sequel to the new features, new content, new ideas. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. The baby, I haven't even done the bit with the baby yet. Right. Let's not go to the infinite holy office mission. Let's go to the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes. The bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Are you trying to say I'm very boring?
Has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Ah, that's what I was missing the whole time from the dating scene. A bucket.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
My bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Free, new and easy trophy. Collect it here. Okay. Pull a lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps, it just works.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Asshole, I want that trophy. Fine. At least I've still got me bucket. Just don't go kicking it, Stanley.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Ooh. Collectibles. Can you find them? Collect them all.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay, that's kind of creepy. What in the world have I just walked into? I'm gonna put the action figure in the bucket. In the bucket. In the bucket. I have 1 out of 6 Stanley figures. Right.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Jump circle. N. Oh, the jump circle's behind that bit. I know. Exit. Alright, what was over here again? The infinite hall. It won't end.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons.
Happy 12th birthday, Stephanie's. Or get well someday.
And happy 12th birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Okay. You enjoy your birthday options. Oh, look at that, even put them in the thing.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Oh, it says merchandise here. The end is never the end again. I saw the new content. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Right, I've already been at the reassurance bucket. I've even changed it to the button that says Jim. You heard Jim in the game. Is the button back then? Agatha, Bob, Shira, George, Jane, Timmy, and all the rest, Craig. Oh no, they still took the Jim button away. Alright. I think it's time to go for the infinite hall. I think it's one of the only things I've got left to get to do, so let's have a nosy over. Depth infinite, surrounding area, rim opening. Wow, educational use only.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Hey, that reminds me of my existential crisis. That feels like an infinite hole I've been in for quite some time. Shall we do it? Should I jump down the infinite hall? Eh, what else have we got to lose?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I'll press triangle in a bit.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Why?
Do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
But what if I don't want to? What if I'm happy to just fall forever?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. Yep. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
You know what, mate? I don't think it is.
It depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm alive.
Wow, you fraud.
So clever. Look,
he threw a new mug down here as well.
Just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What
Meeting at 2 p.m.
actually wants to fall infinitely. I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Just the two of us.
Look,
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Things we didn't mean.
Just the
Why
two
don't
of
we
us.
just put all
Just
this
the
behind
two of
us
us.
and agree to just
Building
call the
castles
whole
in the sky.
mostly infinite? If
The
that
two
works
of
for
us.
you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be
All
up
right,
here
then.
when you're ready.
Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
And
A
you
normal
just-
person would have said, yep, that's an
Should-
infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
That was shorter than last time.
The holes seem even shorter to you this time. I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Okay.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
Yeah, I've
I
had
really do
enough.
have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Psych!
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing.
Every
What's
pause
going on
button is a
here?
Roman numeral for
Stanley,
2.
I have no explanation for
okay.
the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well,
Okay.
there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Oh, yeah, because I can't just climb out of this hole.
Is the, teleport button not working?
Right, smart ass.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
But I want to be out the hole now.
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Ah, great. What's that? Alright, so start to descend gradually, okay. Bye. Goodbye. I still have your bucket. Some epic music, this. Get it. Change our perspective. Oh, wow. It is Stanley. That is such a emphatic. To your perception. Way. Do. What a tune. Change your reality. Well, for a second again. Okay. This is mint. Hey, you're right, mate. This is mint. Change yourself. Oh, wow. I am a TV man. I am upside down. I am a chibi head.
My head is stronger. Now you're no longer
What the hell?
using up the space of mine. My head is
What the hell is this?
now you're no longer using
Stanley?
up the space.
Stanley!
Oh, I was enjoying
It
that.
seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
But I was enjoying that.
You and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Aww. Way to go to take me out with that immersion narrator. So can I happen again? Aww. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Well, I've got the reassurance bucket. The button that says Jim. Did he give those the button back? Nope, they still took the Jim button away. Should I go back in the infinite hole or should I just move on? These are the questions I have to ask myself. Narrator's gonna go, please, no, not this hole again. Oh, I've been locked out the infinite hole. Gotta admit though, that little bit of change of perception and whatnot, that was pretty cool. I guess. Oh, here we go, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Ah. So what else was there? In the match, I've got the reassurance bucket. I guess the mostly infinite hole. Oh well, I guess the only thing I've got left to do then is exit. I've seen all the new features. Alright, let's have a gander this way.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
Yeah,
to
I
move
believe so.
on now?
Believe so. I've run out of options otherwise. No screenshots. Okay, what's this then?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this.
Let's have a look then.
Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Stanley Parable 2. Tell you what, I'm just going to nip through a little quickly, and I'm going to then get back into what this bit is. If you give us a moment. Right, and we're back. Right, so onto I press begin the game here. Let's see what happens.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Alright, I can skip that bit. Okay. Alright, here's some of the birthday balloons that they've got decorated.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had sent...
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No,
I did this trophy earlier on. I
can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click...
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes, I have my bucket of reassurance.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, I'm going to the door on the right. The
This
bucket.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Yay.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Oh.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Right. So, there's a collectible there. How was that a collector's again? Oh, this is how.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. I guess. Bye. Don't know where I went, but jump off for a secret ending. I will eventually get to that. It looks like though I'm gonna have to go up this way. Right, so I can't sneak out that way. What's this do?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Oh, that's a bit deep.
The longer I study this bucket, the less
Bucket?
sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up.
Pick up the bucket.
No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense. There's
Never
no
made sense.
explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Okay.
It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket.
No,
But
it's
I
a
have to
golden
be
bucket.
careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Okay. Let's accidentally stumble up on a secret ending there.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No.
Yes.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I'm just eager.
Stanley took the door on his left
No, I didn't.
back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Oh,
Stanley
something
did not
I need to
question
do.
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Is that it for that?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps the confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I don't care if
Stanley
it's not
had
the
felt
way to the
bucket
meeting
calling
room.
to him, telling him that the
I know which way I want to,
employee
because
lounge
I know
was
which
simply
way I
the
want to
place
go this
be.
time.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope. I know what I want to do
No.
this time.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes, good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But
That's a
Stanley
very good
chose
point.
not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Well, I'm going to go this way. Just start see if there's anything back there. Turns out there is not. Do 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 do. Let's have a gander down here, shall we?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how
Hey.
would you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Ah, it's going to patronize me, isn't it?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not.
I'm going to do this wrong intentionally.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I'm going to answer this wrong intentionally.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Are you kidding me?
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Are you kidding me? I thought I was doing this wrong intentionally.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
Okay.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Like I said, we're trying to get it wrong intentionally.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
What? No, that's a tractor, mate. That's a tractor.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What the hell?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know
Yes.
what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Yes, you are a
myself,
bucket.
and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go.
Oh, not erase all buckets from the game. I'm going to turn back to the beginning again, aren't I?
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait,
Everything was a bucket.
a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
It was all the bucket.
God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
You
And
are a bucket.
Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Right, so what if I don't take the bucket this time round?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Right, you know what? I'm not going to take the bucket this time round.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm going to try and get to that room that says no buckets.
Was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, he didn't. Stanley did this.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are
Yes.
you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The blue door it is.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Okay.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what.
A jump button?
Take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Does 1 mean best and 5 mean worse?
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
I've done a few different playthroughs. The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Okay. You're trying to find me? Stanley is online. This is you. I'll go through this one still.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
You know what? I can't handle that button noise. Yeah, just burn.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
No, it's to spite you, mate.
I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
I know.
I'm out.
I know,
I'm
mate.
out. I'm done.
That button's noise was awful.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see.
Okay.
What do we have here?
I'll play someone else's game.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. What do we got?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Alright, let's play Firewatch for a little bit then. Well, he offered us to play someone else's game. You know what? I need to actually get this game properly. I have heard nothing but good things about it.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
What can't be?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Jonesy Lake. Oh, don't block it off.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Hey.
Out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Oh, but I want to explore this.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
All right, where are you taking me now?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Can I go faster, though?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what
it's Rocket League.
We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh, I'm going faster. Get in. Whee! Whee! I'm going to score a goal for the Blues.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
I'm glad we got context as to what this guy's talking about.
Ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
All right. This narrator's having too much fun with this.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
Aww.
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Hold on. What are you doing?
Bye. Didn't even mean to do that. Whoops. Bye.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Bye. Is this an infinite hall? Okay, now where have I gone? Okay. Someone's been bad in the packet. That's the two. Right, yep. Going back towards the beginning. Here's my office. I feel like there's so much more to this game as well. I'm gonna... Oh, what's it doing? What's it doing?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
I'm sure it will be. Right. Let's see. Is this just going to take us to another intro? Because I think if it is...
All of his co-workers were gone.
Right.
What could it mean?
So I think at this point, I feel like there's plenty more endings to do. So I'm going to make that another stream. But I've gone through quite a few of them at night, and I've really enjoyed this. So I'm definitely going to be able to do another one of these within the next couple of weeks. But I think I'm going to call it a stream for now. So for those who tuned in, thank you very much. And I'll see you all later on.